everyone, Lou here. One of my favorite anime from 2019 was The Promised Neverland, and after a long fucking year, Season 2 is finally here. Today, I'll be reviewing it. Yet, I'm not alone here in my review. That's right, it's a collaboration, folks! This video is in collaboration with Gear Rogue. She's an amazing anime channel who has some of the cutest art I've ever seen, and I really recommend you guys check out her channel. Alright, roll the intro, and let's get started. The Promised Neverland is a manga written by Shirai Kayu and art drawn by Demizu Posuka. The first season for the anime came out in January 2019 to massive critical acclaim and was put on Netflix a year later. Mind you, that is insane speed for an anime to release. Hell, Netflix still doesn't even have Season 2 of Attack on Titan on there. Season 2 was delayed due to current world events that pretty much sent the world into chaos in 2020, but was finally released in January 2021. For my portion, I will be reviewing it similarly to my other videos, and she'll be doing hers. This is because I've read the manga for The Promised Neverland while she hasn't, and we thought it would be fun to give two different perspectives this season. Alright? Here's Gear Rogue to explain her review for The Promised Neverland as a brand new fan entering this without reading the manga.
Hello everybody, my name's Link, and I can say with plenty of confidence that I would never have believed that Promised Neverland could ever top its masterpiece of a first season. Fun fact about me is that I absolutely love horror and thriller. And even more so when it comes to anime because, as you may have guessed, I am one ginormous weeb. But also because anime horror tends to be executed clumsily most of the time. Ironic as it is, for the medium that has the most flexibility to bend and break the very fabric of its 2D universe without looking out of place or forced. And yet, for some reason, the country infamous for bringing nightmare fuel like The Ring and Battle Royale has trouble combining their two expertise together. But that just means that when they get it right, it's just a goddamn masterpiece. With its perfect setup of children trapped into the very place they call home and made fond memories in, by the woman whom they've loved and grown to see as their own mother, but now attempting to formulate an escape plan cleverly disguised as them just playing around in their backyard. All the while also playing psychological games with their caretaker that was never a step behind them. Tension was nail-bitingly tight as even his huge house felt suffocating, and every setback and loss brought a very real feeling of a lead ball being dropped right down to your stomach. Nothing can top that. To the point that I would have been perfectly happy to accept that Season 1 was the ending. And while I was just as excited as everyone to find out how Emma and the rest will survive to live another day, I can't say I was excited finding out that their battlefield is now mostly wide open spaces. What made the house an amazing setup, aside from choosing a place of safety and comfort in the young minds of our protagonists, was that it gave off the impression that there was nowhere to run. Until they can come up with a plan to hightail out of there, they were essentially forced to live under the same roof as the monster that gave their brothers and sister away to be killed. And while yes, you can argue that the self-imposed handicap of being a large group of children traversing through dense forests or wide empty deserts is a neat way to keep the difficulty level on par or even higher than the first season, I just feel like that the carefully crafted tension I associated with the series doesn't translate through when they can just split up and run whenever. And the matter of them being caught is less decided by a miscalculation or an underestimation of their opponent. It's just because they have short baby legs. But based on the visuals and the story cues we have so far, I'd wager that this season is more focused on the characters' growth, both physically and mentally. And I'm okay with that. Once these baby birds left the nest, the next thing on their agenda should really be stretching their wings in an unforgiving landscape and learning how to use their talents. Physical-wise, it's pretty self-explanatory, as Emma and the others' hair grow longer, giving me the impression that Season 2 could possibly contain a sizable time skip or something in that manner. And as for mentally, you'd think kids finding out their own mother was selling them for meat would shatter all the remaining innocence they have. But I really gotta hand it to the author in showing that they've still got a ways to go. The world they live in is harsh, and a situation where the kind and gentle character needing to take an animal's life for survival and struggling to end it is an overused cliche at this point. But for this situation in particular, it feels deliberately paced out. to show that Emma truly lost some of the small fragment of childhood naivety she had by dirtying her hands with blood as her stance to be self-sufficient in the ways of hunting for their own food. It did surprise me to see how fast they parted with Sonja and Mujika. But the fact that they were in the opening and the promotional pictures means we're probably going to see them sometime soon-ish? Within the 11-ish episodes we're getting, if I had to make an estimation. And they did look rather sinister in the picture. So as Sonja showed, he had some very questionable intentions. While Mujika has been openly caring towards the kids, I don't trust neither of them for a second. So far, the one thing I'd really want to see is a face-off with the demons. The juxtaposition in the opening of this band of kids holding their head high and unwaveringly staring at a group of humongous and terrifying demons without a single speck of fear, that gets me excited. Though I'm not sure if that's wishful thinking or not. I wouldn't doubt or question if the kids have to be on the defensive forever. But I can't even describe how liberating it would feel to actually win on the offensive against these demons that clearly look, by all definitions of the word, more powerful than them. But at the same time, I wouldn't know what to feel if they just straight up killed one of them. I feel like that would be kinda too dramatic. If they use their smarts and teamwork to lead them into some kind of trap, I feel like that would be way more in character. But again, who knows? I'd want to see it, but also totally understand if it's just nothing that fits with the story progression or with the resources they have. The last thing that caught my attention though is... Okay, so I worked in animation before and there are some rules in storyboard used to make scenes look consistent and continuous. And I noticed in the last part of the opening how all the other kids were walking to the right into the light, while Emma and Ray had stood back to watch them with a determined smile on Emma's face as she turns around. My takeaway from that scene is that Emma and Ray will break off from the group, probably leaving Dawn and Gilda to take the rest of the smaller kids to safety, while Emma and Ray go on a mission to return to the house and get the rest of their siblings back once they've secured a safe place for all of them. Though it is debatable on how it'll fit and pan out with a few episodes stated for this season. It feels too deliberate to be an oversight of which direction Emma turned. Or maybe I'm just reading too much into it. Because as I did say earlier, anime is the best medium to bend and break all rules. So this could very well be a stylistic choice. I don't know, that's just my theory. There's a reason I'm covering the anime-only side of things. Okay, so that's pretty much all I've gathered from the episodes out so far. Back to you, Lou.
Thanks! I gotta say, it was really interesting to hear her side of things. In a little game of hot and cold, I will say her side was definitely a little hot in some areas. Not that I'm gonna say what, though. Already this season starts pretty action-packed with the kids running away from a massive demon chasing them. We're basically shown how the kids are surviving after running away from Gracefield. They are kinda running low on supplies, but quickly notice that the mysterious William Minerva had left behind all sorts of books to guide the kids to life outside the farms. Not to mention the pen Norman gave to Em and Ray that he found belonged to Crone. The kids are basically given a location to meet Minerva in, but are quickly thwarted by what's basically demon hunting dogs to find the kids and drag them back to the child farm or eat them. Thanks to Ray's quick thinking, they manage to avoid it all, but are quickly tired out and are taken in by a mysterious girl and her friend. It's revealed that these two are demons, but unlike the demons we've seen, these two are surprisingly human. I won't explain much about Mujika and Sonju, as I'm trying to keep this as spoiler-free as possible, with the exception of talking about the first 3 episodes. But I will say they're extremely interesting and key players this season. Mujika and Sonju believe that demons can still remain intelligent without eating humans, so they're basically vegetarian. They are referred to as heathens, adding to the many references the Promised Neverland makes to both religion, mythology, and fairy tales. Right away, I already noticed a lot of foreshadowing in just the first few episodes to future events that I hadn't even noticed before. Specifically the intro, even noticing a certain character. Not that I'll say, but I do love the shot of older Gilda and Emma's new signature braid because I have been waiting for that adorable braid for so long. The animation is both a step up and a step down from my perspective. The animation in the first season was already really good with a lot of really well animated shots. While the style is still really great and well animated, I do notice drops in quality quality at times. Yet this is in scenes that don't necessarily need high quality animation for it anyways, so I'm glad that the team knows exactly when it is time to throw the budget at a scene. Especially when the kids find the help scribbles in the shelter, I thought that was really well animated. Though, the CGI with the demons is a little sad to see. Obviously, I didn't expect the demons to be 2D animated for the most part anyway, thanks to current world events and struggles within the anime industry over stuff like funding and finding animators, but it still is a little bit of a letdown. I will say that I was surprised by Mujika and Sonju's coloring in this anime. I haven't seen a big piece of Mujika colored in, and I was surprised how well her color palette works here. I guess it's just weird when you're used to seeing this character in black and white, now it's subtly in color. Obviously, I know there's colored artwork of them on colors and promotional material, but they're always in the back, so it's hard to see them with all the precious little babies in the picture. Overall, the animation is great, but the CGI is a little disappointing, but understandable. This arc is very important for Emma as a character in seeing her growth and maturity, since we'll be seeing her become a teenager, which is filled with all kinds of emotions. The most drastic thing is Emma learning to toughen up and fight, which is pretty hard since I think most 12-year-olds would probably break down in Emma's position. This is definitely going to be an interesting thing for a manga reader. It's one thing to read dialogue, it's another to hear how a studio interprets that dialogue in their script and the actor. Mujika and Sonju are also really wonderful characters. Mujika is my personal favorite, but they're both so well written and complex. I also like Sonju's morally gray attitude and Mujika's kindness, as it shows the potential that there's more than just evil child-eating demons out there. The rest is mostly the same, as the other characters like Gilda and Dawn have slow-ish development as their secondary characters, and Ray had his massive development in the first season. Overall, the characters are lovable, but the new characters are really interesting. This second season has a lot to live up to, especially with the massive critical reception of the first season. Yet so far, I think it's doing a damn good job. Obviously, this arc isn't going to be the same calculated psychological horror, considering the battlefield has completely changed for these kids. And we're probably also going to get a little bit of an information overload, so I think it'll take a second, but let me know down below what you guys think. I say this arc is genuinely great. Are you guys excited to watch the second season of The Promised Neverland? Have you ever seen it at all? Are you more of a manga fan? Let me know down below. And thanks again, Gear Rogue, for helping with this video. It's been super fun. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you're new. And if any older new subs would like to help support the channel in any possible way, my Ko-fi page is down below in the description, along with all of my social media. For any subscribers, new or old, who would like to help with video ideas or maybe just want to talk about anime or something, then I have a fan server linked down below. See you next time!